everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be deck profiling Ice Rider Calyrex. This is like one of the least expensive Calyrexes, so actually no, there isn't more than 2 Calyrexes. So this is the least expensive Calyrex. And it's still quite a decent amount of packs. It's still like 15 packs. The Shadow Rider one is really expensive, so I decided to do the Ice Rider one instead because this one is actually still a pretty decent deck. So, without further ado, let's get into what the deck's supposed to do and how it works. So, our main Pokemon is going to be the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, which is a very, very powerful card. This card is really, really good. A lot of people didn't think it was going to be very good because it was weakness to metal, which means Zacian could have weakness on it and just want to kill it. Other than that, it has still been a very, very powerful deck in the meta game, so I do a video on it. But yeah, here's what we're working with here. We have 320 HP, which is really, really nice. And what's going to work with the metal and your water, so we can use Frostmoth. But we're not going to use Frostmoth because our attacks are relatively cheap. 2 colorless energy, Ride of the High King, which is a really cool attack name. 10 plus. This deck does 30 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So 5 times Pokemon, 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So you get 160 for 2 energy, which is pretty decent. Of course, it doesn't get that magical number of 180, which does KO things like Crobats and Eldegoss and Kricketune, but you do get a Dedenne, which is really nice. If you want to play Great Catcher in this deck, then you definitely can, just to be able to KO Dedenne. But our main attack here, Max Lance, for 2 water energy, we do 10 damage. You can discard up to 2 energy from this Pokemon, and if you do, it does 120 more damage for each card you discarded in this way. So, discard 1 energy, you can do 130, and discard 2 energy, and you can do 250, which is really, really good. You're getting right up there with the Realms of Eternatus. Of course, the one downside is that you won't be able to attack next turn because we don't have much energy acceleration. Like I mentioned, we're not playing Frostmoth, but we do have access to the new Melony. I meant to click on it, with the new Melony, which lets you attach a water energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon B. And if you do, you get to draw 3 cards. So it's like Welder, but from the discard pile. It's basically like a combination of Welder and Blacksmith, but for water Pokemon, or water energy, which is really, really cool. And basically, we're just trying to maybe hit into a VMAX with Ride of the High King, and then finish them off with Max Lance. This specific build is pairing Cinccino with Make Do. Once you're in turn, you may discard a card from your hand and then draw 2 cards, like Zoroark GX. So basically, this Cinccino can just help you draw through your deck and get all the cards you need, but can also get water into your discard pile to accelerate into play with Melony, which can help you if you miss a turn 1 energy attachment. That's one of the main things I found with Ice Rider, is that you miss a turn 1 energy attachment, you're kind of sitting there doing nothing. But with this Cinccino and Melony package, it allows you to accelerate those energies into play, and if you get lucky enough, you will be able to attack with the VMAX turn 2 if you miss energy turn 1. We have 3 copies of Path to the Peak. This card is just broken and really good against ADP, so we're going to be playing 3 copies of it. Pokemon with rule box in play, both yours and your opponents have no abilities. Now, we do have 1 Pokemon with a rule box. We do have 1 Dedenne GX. Just because sometimes we do want to have that little extra burst of draw, and just in case our opponent doesn't play down a stadium card, we do have 1 copy of Resetting Hole Marshadow. Once you're in turn, this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard any stadium card and play, and then discard this card. Sometimes maybe you want to deny, but you still have Path to the Peak in play, and you can bench that Marshadow, use Resetting Hole, and then put Dedenne. Not only does that Marshadow let you get rid of your own Path to the Peak to bench Dedenne, but it can also get rid of opponent's Chaotic Swells, because usually decks that really don't like seeing this Path to the Peak, ADP, and Shadow Rider Calyrex will be playing 1 to 2 copies of Chaotic Swell. So that Marshadow can just go ahead and get rid of that Chaotic Swell. We do have a whole bunch of other wonderful Pokemon. We have 1 copy of Snorlax with Cormorant Dies. Once in your turn, if this Pokemon is active in the active spot, you may draw cards to 7 cards in your hand, and then your turn ends. This can be just a nice little guy that if you have an extra Quick Ball in your opening hand, Quick Ball for it, pop into the active spot, and then there you go. We have 1 copy of Galarian's Execution with the Headbutt Tantrum. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, once you're benching your turn, you may put 1 damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon. We do play 4 copies of Skip Up Net. We're playing like a Skip Up Net build of the Ice Rider Calyrex deck. So 2 of these Galarian Zigzagoon Pings in combination with a Max Lance for 250 damage you do just one-shot your typical tag team with 270 HP. Also, we do have one copy of this Rowlet here, which I haven't seen in a lot of lists. With the Sky Circus ability, if you play a Birdkeeper from your hand from your hand during this turn, ignore all energy in this Pokemon's attack cost. We do play 2 copies of Birdkeeper, so if we get a VMAX with Max Lance. Later, down the line in the game, we can play a Birdkeeper into our Rowlet, say this 320 HP, ping it with something like a Galarian Zigzagoon, and then there you go. You can just knock it out on the bench without needing something like a boss's orders. And you might say, oh, but we only have 2 copies of Birdkeeper. It's going to be really inconsistent to hit that Birdkeeper. Well, we do play 1 copy of Mind Report Mewtwo with the ability Mind Report. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you put a supporter card from your discard pile on top of your deck. And of course, since you're playing Chinchino, which lets you discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards, you can just bench that Mewtwo, stack that Birdkeeper on top of the deck, and then use the Chinchino's ability Make Do to draw into that Birdkeeper, switch into your Rowlet, and then I've explained from there. We have 1 copy of Bench Barrier Mew, prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by your opponent's attacks. Of course, we're going to want to protect our Chinchinos from things like Rapid Strike or Urshifu VMAX. But also, the attack side power is actually pretty decent. I've used it against some tag team decks, like how Galarian Zigzagoon is very, very good. Bench Barrier Mew is also very, very good for just side powering and getting the perfect numbers on some a Pokemon tag team. We have 3 copies of Capacious Bucket, which lets us search our deck for 2 water energy cards, reveal them, and put them into our hand. This one just immediately get out the 2 water energy we're going to need for the 2 following turns, both our first turn and our second turn. 4 copies of Lovable, because most of our Pokemon do have under 90 HP, both our Machinos and our Chinchino, our Goon, our Rowlet, our Marshad, our Mew. So Lovable is definitely a very, very powerful card. 4 copies of Pokemon Communication, because we do, once again, we heavily rely on our evolution Pokemons, both as our main draw, and our attacks. So 4 copies of Pokemon Communication will really help us get out that. And we do play a sizable amount of Pokemon. We do play 19 Pokemon. 4 copies of Quick Ball, which once again should be no surprise to you. We have 1 copy of Risa Stamp, which makes our opponent shuffle their hand at their deck and then draw a card for each of their remaining prize cards. So it's going to just be used as a really nice combat card. We have 4 copies of Skip Up Net. Put 1 of your Pokemon isn't a Pokemon V or Pokemon GX into your hand, and you discard all attached cards. Well, obviously we're playing Path to the Peak, which turns off our ability, so obviously we're not going to be playing many Pokemon V or Pokemon GX. So this will basically help us scoop up any Pokemon that isn't Calyrex or Dedenne. Already talked about 2 copies of Birdkeeper with 2 copies of Boss's Orders, which once again can be reused with that Mewtwo Mind Report. 2 copies of Marnie, which is really brutal in combination with Path of the Peak. And then 4 Melony, which is of course going to be our main supporter we want to play. And 8 Water Energy. So that is going to be the Ice Fighter Calyrex VMAX deck. Now let's hop onto the PTCGO versus ladder and see if we can win some games with the Ice Rider Chinchino deck. Right. Hit Evolta Across. They do have a fire deck box, which means that we could be playing against a fire deck, which is of course a very good matchup for us, because we do hit them their weakness, both with our first attack, which can do 160, which will one-shot most water or fire Pokemon VMAX. They do choose for us to go first, which means they are probably playing a fire deck with Volcanion in it, so we're going to start our Ice Rider Calyrex V, just because we want to get that active as soon as we can. And if we can get on turn 0, that is awesome. Now, these are the Giratina, which is of course another card that's played in a lot. Okay, so they're going to scoop because we're a water deck and they probably cannot beat us. That 100% makes sense. Let's go ahead and see if we can get into another game here. Hopefully we can go to Single first. Now, you do have a Darkness Fighting deck box, which means it's probably a single strike deck. It could be Lycanroc single strike, it could be Stonejourner single strike, it could be regular single strike Urshifu, it could even be Slowking, I guess, with a Stonejourner check or something like that. Now we do win the coin flip, which means we are going to be choosing to go first. Once again, we do have that Ice Rider Calyrex V as our starter here, so we're definitely going to put that up into the active. Let's see who we're up against. Our opponents have a Houndour, so like I thought, it is going to be a single strike deck. I'm just going to bench this Minccino, attach this Water Energy, and pass. There's probably no real need to play this Capacious Bucket unless you really want the thing, but we do have our VMAX and our Pokemon Communication for our Cinccino. So our next turn is looking pretty good, so didn't really need to play the Capacious Bucket. Now they do attach a Capture Energy to Houndour, so most single strike decks do play Capture Energy except for, it's actually going to be the single strike Urshifu. This is definitely a really interesting card. They're going to bite us for 20, and that is it, because we do get another Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Now, if we can get a boss orders here, that's going to be very, very good for us. We're going to be in a very, very good position, so I'm going to Pokemon Communication away this Galarian Zigzagoon. Grab out the Cinccino. Pretty sure that this single strike Urshifu can just do 200 plus damage if it has damage counter on it. So we're gonna play this Capacious Bucket. Probably maybe get find like something like a Melony at the very least. But other than that, hopefully we can find a boss at the very best. We do find neither, which is fine. We do get a path to the peak. We're gonna play this level ball, just get out another Minccino. There's just Water Energy. I'm going to put the Path of the Peak in play because they could have something like an Oricorio GX that could help them draw into the cards they need. And then we're just going to Max Lance. Means they actually won't be attacking here because they won't be able to accelerate to their single strike Urshifu. Now we do just have to discard 1 energy. We do 130 damage. Knock out this Houndour. They put up this Cubfu and Evolution Incense. So probably going to be getting out something like their single strike Urshifu. Keep almost want to say VR and VMAX, but it's actually not the V or VMAX version. So this is the version it is with Field Crush and something else I couldn't read. But now it does over 140 HP, which is something I was wondering if it has over 160 HP. But if it doesn't, that means that we cannot actually one-shot it with Ride of the High King. We will have to discard 2 energy every single time, but luckily that is not the case. Now they do get a single strike energy down on it. And then they're trying to research. Yeah, look like they didn't have much in their hand. Benching another Houndour. Level Ball, probably going to get out a second Houndour, or maybe another Cubfu. I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, so there is the second Cubfu. Yep, benching that. And just a pass. Okay. So let's see what we can get here. We actually do get another Cinccino, which is really good. I am going to make do discard this VMAX here. At least, at the very worst, we actually attack with a V. So, okay, we do get 2 Melony, which is really nice. So I'm actually going to play Melony first to this one right here. I'm going to draw couple cards. We do still have Water Energy in the discard pile for next turn. But I will still make do away this extra Cinccino. We're probably not going to be able to want to get out more than 2 Chinos in this game. I'm going to attach, again, this is active, so we can max length to still have a couple energies on here, just in case they Marnie us or something like that. We still have access to a couple make dudes to find an energy to attack with. Okay, so we do get the energy there. Putting up this Cubfu here. This guy do training. Search your deck for a basic energy card and attach this Pokemon. So they're going to get out another single strike Urshifu. I believe they still can't attack here. But they can discard a Path of the Peak with Field Crush if they really want to, if they have a Houndour. But this game is probably over at this point. They're not doing too much right now. And they're going to play a Bruno to shovel their hand to their deck and draw 7 cards because one of their Pokemon was knocked out during their last turn. Otherwise, they would just draw 4 cards. Now, this Field Crush, if they can get down another Cubfu and another Houndour this turn, this Field Crush could actually set up math for them next turn if they can get enough single strike energies on. So there is the Kubfu. And Illusion Instance, probably gonna go to Houndoom here to accelerate and then Field Crush with later this turn. Yep, so evolving that guy into the Houndoom. Air Balloon. Trains Kubfu. And maybe just a pass. If we can make do into a boss. Once again, like this entire rest of the game, we're going to want to boss this. Prevent them from doing anything that they want to do. Yep, I'm just going to pass. Okay, so we do get a third Melony that we can see this. We've seen this game. I'm going to make do. Probably away this quick ball. And no bosses yet. I think I'm just going to make do away the Scoop Up next. Let's see if we can draw into our, what's it called? Our, I can't remember. Our boss, but we don't. So I'm going to just Pokemon Communication away Smart Shadow. Grab out our VMAX. Actually, we do prize it. So once again, that was what we ran. We ran the risk of prizing it, discarding that, but you know, that is whatever. We did get punished, but at least our opponent is not having too great of a game. So I think we're just gonna take out this Rowlet here. We do have Galarian in the deck, which means we can knock out a Kubfu again next turn with like a Goon and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna Melony onto this active one here. There are some more cards attached here, and now right after hacking, I believe does 70 damage here. Yep, because they have 2 bunch Pokemon. 30 plus 30 plus 10 equals 70. So that Kubfu will be KO'd here. And I believe we got to skip it off that prize. But they will be able to get off their Fists of Strife because they can use the Houndoom to accelerate to this guy next turn, or this turn. Wait, they actually just have it in hand, so they don't even need to use this Houndoom to accelerate to it. They're probably just going to level ball for a Kubfu or a Houndour. Maybe they're out of Kubfus. They already discarded one Ornate Rod. Probably play around 2, I imagine so. Pretty much that. We can actually knock this out with Wind Shard. Well, with our Rowlet, because we have Bird-Keeper and Rowlet in hand. There's another one. And a Tower of Darkness away a Tower of Darkness. Gain themselves 2 more cards. They still find a way to get a Kubfu. They do get an Oricorio. Now, the Path of Peak was discarded, but we still have 2 more, presumably. But they still can't dance with Tribute to help them find another Kubfu. They don't get it, then they probably have just lost this game. Because then we just have to dig with our Tinchinos for a boss. The boss this after KO 1 more single Prezer. Probably going to be this guy. Hate the single strike roll for nothing. And yeah, Fist of Strife. 240. Definitely not bad. But I think we do get another Path of Peach. Get rid of that so they can't dance in Tribute next turn. But this game is probably over. Let's just Melony here. Process 3 cards. We can attach here because they might knock us out. There's potential for them to knock us out with Houndoom. So we'll definitely do that. Even though we don't have VMAX, we can still knock out their Oricorio with our Glacial Lance next turn. But I'm going to play these Capacious Buckets, okay, to get out our energy. Now, there is still 2 boss in the deck. now I'm going to quick ball away this Snorlax, once again to just spin the deck more for when we start using Make Do. And we'll get some more cards. This is a lovable. This Mew, they doubt if they ever can hit the bench here. We can use Make Do to get rid of that Mew. And I think we're probably just going to attack here. Next time we can use 2 Make Do's, and we still have Net to evolve this other Minccino, even though we believe, we discarded our 3rd Chinchino. So how many do they have in their bench? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3. Okay, so we can actually use Bride of the High King to just knock them out here, which is really nice. We don't have to get rid of some of our energies. I was kind of assuming we had to get rid of at least one of our energies, so I accelerated here, but that was actually not the case. And we do get our VMAX, which, as I said before, is probably not going to matter too much. But I guess it could if they use something like a Reese's Stamp. For a Vitality, like I said, they could probably attack with this Houndoom to knock me out, because I am, see, how much HP am I left? Yeah, I'm just 60 left, so Darkness Vein boosted by 1 single Circ Energy, which is KO me. And I wouldn't be surprised if I just saw maybe a single strike roar here to the energy on and then attach, or maybe another Houndoom double single strike roar to it. Yeah, there's a Calyrex, so they do have the knockout, because then they can just use their single strike roar to attach, and then there is 70 damage from the Darkness Vein. But as long as I can draw and do a boss next turn, I do have the game here. Okay, yep, there's a single strike roar onto the Houndoom, so Darkness Vein will do 70 damage to KO this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, and I'm going to Bruno for 7. Instead of plugging out another Houndoom, they could be able to Kung-Fus, because they only have, they have 2? Yeah, they have 2. No, they have 3 in the discard pile. They have 1 more left, and they're down a Rod, so it's possible that they don't actually have any more Kung-Fus left. Or did they just get there? I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, they got Houndoom. So I'm going to evolve that Houndoom. Probably not single strike roar. I don't think there's any reason really to attach unless they know that they don't have any Kung-Fus left or rods or anything like that. And I probably would accelerate to the Houndoom. Yep, so it looks like they are going to do that maybe, but looks like they don't have any more Kung-Fus left. But they're actually accelerating to this, which is really interesting. We're only 60 HP till we're dead. Darkness Fang will be 90, so I don't think there wasn't really any way to, or a reason to accelerate this here, I don't think. But as long as we can draw into a draw supporter, we're going to got the game here. Okay, so we're going to evolve into our VMAX. Patience. I know there's anything in the deck, but I want to see what we can thin out here. Now, there is still a Marshadow, which is really good. I think that means I believe we have a guaranteed game here just because we can Marshadow and get rid of the Stadium and then the Dene. So I do believe we have a guaranteed game here. We can thin so many things out of the deck. And we have Dene, so we have guaranteed game. Just go ahead and do it here. Still no boss, okay? There's 2 boss in this deck. Still no boss. It's fine. We can just leave them at this. Go right here. Evolve. And if I don't find a boss off here, then we're going to have to go for the next strategy. And there's boss. Okay. We can just boss this. And then use Max Lance. Discard 2 energy. Do 250 damage. And that's going to be the game here against the Baby Single Striker HP deck. Let's just do one more game here. before we end off the video now, ooh, looks like I got myself an ADP. I believe that is my second ADP, which is really, really nice because I traded my other two I had, hoping that I could finish the letter, and now I have them back, so I am glad for that. But enough with that, let's get into another game with the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAXs Neutrino deck. Really fun deck, definitely recommend it. It's pretty, in terms of Calyrex's, it is pretty cheap. The Shadow Rider ones are like 30 packs each, which is just nuts. Way too expensive for me. It looks like we have like the same hair and like the same headband. Me and my phone, which is XD. I'm not even sure. But I am going to choose to go first because once again I didn't win the coin flip. And we do get our Snorlax start, which is really nice for us. We have a communication, get out our V, and play up against, looks like we're against something with Intelligent in it. Could be a other Ice Rider Calyrex deck because there is a what's the sort for, there is a Italian version of this deck. Now we do have the Pokemon Communication. Then go ahead and grab out this Ice Rider Calyrex V. Bench that. We did have the energy, which is really nice. We can Level Ball. Grab out our Machino, start setting up our Trenchinos for onto more cards, and just Gorman dies for 4. Definitely a not bad turn, pretty solid. Now we do have a Skip and Net. We actually have the boss scale on whatever V they try and put down, which is really nice for us. Oh boy. It's actually the CGI deck, which is really annoying. I guess it's we do have our own Rowlet, but other than that, this is probably just going to be an unwinnable game, unfortunately. Let's see. Marnie, okay, yeah, I'm out. I'm running away, my boss. Sorry, I'm out. We don't have any Phoebe. We don't have any outs. CGI. So sorry, but nope, I don't feel like facing the CGI deck right now. Especially with a deck that its non-V damage cap is 60 to the bench, which is not very good. So if this name is into focus deck, then I would have a pretty solid chance because I Path to the Peak. Can get rid of their ability, let's just one-shot them. But it's a Dwight, which means it's a big fat concede right there. Now, hit Macon Jordan 90. A Metagross coin that could be having a Metagross deck, but they do have Dragon Sleeves and Water Deck Box, so it might be ADP-zation. Let's see, they do mulligans, so we'll be able to see what they're playing. Our hand ourselves, we got a Level Ball, Pokemon Communication, Machino, Water Energy is pretty good for going first. And yep, so they do have Energy Spinner, Energy Switch, Ammo Energy, which is going to make me think that it's going to probably be ADP, which is favorable slightly. They do have the Zation, but we have our own Path to the Peak, which is just brutal against this deck that relies on Dedenne and Intrepid Sword and Crobat. So we do get 2 extra cards, no Path to the Peak, that's okay. Our Rowlets will be useful if they do decide to Big Charm their ADP, but we're just going to start off with a Level Ball. Grab out Machino. Let's see, we have all our Path to the Peaks in play. We unfortunately don't want an opening hand, but that's probably going to be favored. Just Pokemon Communication away this Mew. Got our Ice Rider Calyrex V, and attach and pass probably. Okay, yeah. So it's going to attach and pass, and then see what my opponent does. Unfortunately, we have no Path to the Peak to stop them from Intrepid Sorting, which is really the main thing, but I'll take what I can get. At least we have double Machino, Ice Rider Calyrex V, and Energy, and a pretty decent hand. We got Draw Supporter, Machino, and Ice Rider. One thing we don't have, I think, is like a Scuba Net, which would let us evolve this one, make 2, Scuba Net, evolve this one, make 2 even more. So we're going to Pokemon Communication away. I didn't see put the Pokemon Communication away, but they do get a Crobat out. But Pokemon ADP doesn't usually play Pokemon Communication, so that is very interesting. They're going to Crobat for 2. Okay, so they do have their ADP, so it's probably ADP. Don't know why they're playing a Pokemon Communication, though. They're getting an Energy Spinner, so they can get okay, double water and a metal. That's okay. Ice Ice Rider does not usually play a crushing hammer, so getting that double water just to like discard with like a research and a detonate is probably okay. And they do the switch, which is, we really like them switching there because it means that we can just go ahead and hit them preemptively before they alter creation. Now they do trip sword into 1 energy, which is a little annoying, but probably shouldn't be too big of a deal. We draw Storm Knights, which isn't going to help us, I'm going to be honest. We can't evolve there. What will ever really matter? I mean, if they attach Big Charm, it's going to be really nice. I'm just going to, we're martying anyway, so I'm not going to mention that. Hopefully we can find a Scuba Net. We do not. We do find Path at the Peak, but I'm definitely going to want to make do before I put the Path of the Peak in the light, in case I do have to like Pokemon Communication away to deny. I'm gonna make do away this reset stamp. There's a Bird Keeper, still no switch. I'm gonna evolve this. Looks like we're still having to deny here just to dig for a Scuba Net. Definitely doesn't feel good. Okay, more Path of the Peaks. We don't really want to be discarding these, but it looks like we're gonna have to, because we have to deny, which is really bad, and it's prized, and that sucks. Okay. Well, at least we can turn off their abilities, I guess. We can just get this out. At least we can turn off their abilities. Get this back to the beacon. We're just gonna have to pass, which is really annoying. They switch into this for us, which is the number one mistake I see ADP players making, is just switching into the ADP. There's no reason to do that, especially if you go second and your opponent gets energy. But another Pokemon creation. This is a really weird ADP list. So, okay, getting out. Is that the same ADP? I believe that's the same ADP. Did they put an ADP and get ADP? Okay, they're mentioning another one. They're playing a very, very weird list, though. And making some very, very weird plays. Looking to use second ADP. So they're going to alter creation. Now we do have the Bird Keeper in hand. If we weren't able to play it last time because we did play Marnie. Now I'm gonna make do away this water energy, I guess. Okay, that can get us out another Tinchino. I'm gonna make do this Glades Goon. You really want to get another Via, which we don't. Oh, so we still have another make do. Suppose we can get rid of this Scoop Up Net. Okay, there's our V. It's really great. Question is, do they knock us out? They probably just hit us with Ultimate Ray, so I'm just going to attach there to Ride of the High King, see what they do next turn. Because now we can just use the Max Lance and KO them next turn. We also can like boss this next turn if we really want to. Okay, they're going to Marnie us, which is really annoying. That's really annoying. Your hand was really, really good, actually. So seeing all that stuff go is a little bit sad, but it'll probably be okay. We still have 3 Genos, 3 make do's to do something with. And if we can get through, okay, so they're actually going to go up, okay. Well, I mean, we had a couple real games, I suppose. But Ice Rider is definitely, nonetheless, a very, very good deck. Looking for something new and fun to play, definitely I would recommend trying the Ice Rider. Very, very fun deck. Probably not the best deck around. Shadow Rider is probably the best deck. So if you have the PTCGO Wealth, I would definitely go for the Shadow Rider over this. But I'm probably never going to do more than one Shadow Rider video, or a Shadow Rider PTCGO video ever on my channel. So I figured I would do this one instead. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. As I did, don't forget to subscribe if you guys want to see more. Also, don't forget to subscribe. That was the wrong outro. My outro is supposed to be, if you guys liked it, don't forget to leave a like. If you guys want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. So there you go. That's the right one. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one.